Drafting the Magic features the thoughts and opinions expressed by Christian Ilton, Eric Pessolano, and today's guest, and do not in any way reflect the views or opinions of the Walt Disney Company or any of its subsidiaries.
All right, Christian, I'm 5 in a row. I'm looking for the half dozen. It's entertainment, and we know what that means. It's not my strong point, so you probably got a shot here today. So I gotta go to work.
Oh, where's Genevieve to bash you for not seeing parades again? I just want to see that happen. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one. Man, dude, being down 5 in a row, this is mentally draining, man. I don't know what I'm doing.
But you show up every week.
But I show up every week, and if I lose this one, I don't know if I'm going to next week, so we'll see. But regardless, we are going. Well, I'm going for 1 in a row, but you're going for 6 in a row, and we're going with a huge, broad topic, Eric.
Yeah.
Entertainment of the Disney parks.
Yeah,
I think is an easy way of summing this up.
Yeah, we've done entertainment before, right? We did our parades. We did Disney World Entertainment, I think, before, but now we're opening it up to both coasts, and there will be some limitations. We'll get to the rules in a bit. More than just one or two rules this time around, because we think it's necessary. But this is going to be a wild card. There's a lot of options. Shockingly enough, I've seen a lot of things when I was putting my list together of potential picks. I'm going to be okay. I'm not going to have to worry about you taking 3 out of my 7 and then not being able to complete the draft. So I just got to make the right choices.
Yeah, it is exciting. This is our first, I believe this is our first, well, I guess technically not necessarily with holidays, but this is really our first one where we can go with regular nighttime spectaculars too.
Yeah.
So you might see those come up in this draft. It's going to be fun, and we've got a pretty cool guest joining us today. Eric, we're so excited to welcome Vikki Tupay from Dream Big. Vikki, she is a authorized Disney travel planner, and she has been to both parks, or I guess both coasts, so she's perfect for today's topic. Vikki, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we know that you're a huge entertainment buff, and we couldn't think of anybody better to help us out on this here show. Entertainment is my well, it's not my strongest point, but I know when somebody of this stature comes on the show that I got to step up my game a lot. So I try to put a little extra research in this because the last time we had entertainment or parades, things don't go great for me. So I have to step it up tonight. So hopefully I can win your vote at the end of the show.
Okay. I think we got it.
I'm so nervous about this. So, Eric, since you know the rules better than I do, because once again, I'm still confused by our rules. Run it down for the people. What are our parameters on this giant entertainment episode?
Everybody get your pen and paper ready because this is a little bit of a list. We got to make this fun. Oh, Vicki's got her pen and paper. She's ready to go. All right.
Ready to go.
So we're doing entertainment. That's going to encompass character meet and greets, parades, nighttime spectaculars, and the like. Here are the rules. First one, have to have experienced it in person. That's the one that we always go to. That's our one main rule that sticks around every single show. The other few rules, because there's not just one other rule. First off, you have to at least pick one character meet and greet from either coast. Doesn't have to be one from each, just has to be one from either or. The second one, you have to pick one parade from either coast. Doesn't have to be both. It could be either or. Nighttime spectacular, same thing. Have to pick at least one, and it's got to be, or could be from either coast. However, and when we told Vikki these rules before we started recording, she was like, I can't believe you guys are going to do this. Well, we do only have 5 selections each. So to keep everything rounded, you can only pick one nighttime spectacular from both coasts, meaning you can do one California and you can do one Florida. You cannot do 2 Cali. You cannot do 2 Florida. And you can't do more than one at either. So we're only going to pick 2 each at the most. And I know that hurts her to the very core, I can tell.
Very core.
Well,
so we have more impressing to do. The picks better be good.
Yeah, they better be good. And
better be good.
I've been going back and forth. You know what? Let's start the draft. We're going to jump right into it. Okay. I've been going back and forth on this because I thought, okay, there's an obvious number one for me. But thinking about maybe what Vikki has seen here in the West Coast when she comes out here, for those that you don't know, she's in Florida, but she does come to the West Coast, best coast every once in a while. I'm going to go on a stretch because I think there's multiple options for some of these categories. The meet and greet option, though, is a little bit more. Some meet and greets, you just walk up and take a picture. Some meet and greets are a lot more intense. And I would say that the greatest meet and greet that I had ever been through is something that I actually got to work on when I was a cast member here at the Disneyland Resort in the Innoventions building. When you got to go to Asgard to meet Thor, it was the greatest meet and greet, and it can never be topped unless they build it better, because it truly made you feel like you were going to a new world. Now, judging by Vikki's reaction, I'm guessing she wasn't here for it. I'm kind of worried about that. I was
not there for that. I did not even know that existed. That is very cool.
That is a risk that I was willing to take, and here we are. Erik is pumping his fists. So, Erik, did you ever see that meet and greet, or am I the only one on this show currently that's seen it?
Yeah, you're the only one.
Oh,
but
my God.
I knew it was there. And hey, let's be honest. Just because Vikki wasn't there doesn't mean she can't think it's awesome, and
it's true.
Still not take that into consideration. But I know, Vikki, you hadn't seen it, but from the little you just found out about it, what do you think about that first pick?
I think that's a really solid first pick. That's the one thing we don't get in Florida. We don't get good meet and greets because there's too many people and everybody flocks and basically kills the entertainers. So they try not to do meet and greets like that because, for the safety of the entertainers.
Well,
we've got some wild ones down here.
Let me paint the visual picture if I didn't already. For those of you that haven't seen it, go on YouTube and find the Thor meet and greet at Innoventions. This was we talked about it on the last show, Erik, with Callan, where the Marvel characters bounced around, but they really fortified a spot for Thor. It was along the same lines when Thor: The Dark World was released. They were really trying to hype it up, and they had a full throne room, and you walked in. The kids got the opportunity to try to lift Thor's hammer, but with some Disney magic, that hammer could not be lifted by anyone besides Thor. It was just amazing. So you know what? I've got to describe it since she hasn't seen it. So I'm hoping I'm describing it well. And with the first overall pick, the guest judge hasn't seen it. That always happens in this show somehow. So, Erik, how about you dive into your first pick?
Okay, this episode is going to be very all over the board. Like, I don't think this is one where you and I are going to go back and forth in the same category as far as things are concerned. Yeah, normally we would, I would take something from Tomorrowland, then he would do it, and then we'd go back and forth because we're just trying to snag picks to take it away from the other one before they can grab two in a row, which is basically what happened last week. Shout out, Christian. So I'm going to go with a stage show, I think, right out of the gate. And it's one that does not exist anymore. And I'm hoping, Vikki, that you've seen this one, because as not as big an entertainment person as would be necessary to try to win something like this, I'm going to revert back to the good old days Disney California Adventure, and I'm going to the Hyperion Theater for Aladdin, a musical spectacular.
Wow.
And the reason I'm going for that, I have very, very dry humor, and a lot of the time it's topical, just like the Genie. And that show changed up regularly. They moved the jokes around depending on what was going on in the world at that time. And, to have some of the characters running through the theater and amongst the people. And if you were to see it twice, you probably didn't see the same show twice, depending on how you spread it out. Same day, it was probably the same if you saw it over a period of time. That's my number one pick because that's my favorite stage show of all time.
That's a great show. That really is a great show. I was sad when we lost it, but it was definitely a good show.
That was a great show. I forgot about it when drafting this. I don't know if I would have taken it number one, but that was a fantastic show. So Erik coming out of the gate without satisfying any of those rules. So he puts a little more pressure on himself coming up. I've already done the meet and greet rule, but Aladdin, a musical spectacular, whatever the official term was amazing. And I was working in the area when we had to close the show. I was actually working the trolley attraction in the area, the red car trolleys.
The red car.
But we weren't allowed to drive because there were so many people on the street that we just got turned into guest control. And it was funny because I saw friends going in for that last show. That was that was one of the first times where Disney closed down that show and everyone wanted to be there. I mean, it was phenomenal. So a great first pick for you, Eric, in round 1. Wow.
Really?
All right. Okay, well then fine. Gloves are off. I'm going with the
Gloves
heavy
are off.
hitters. And
I will have to say, I had a really good meet and greet this last weekend when I was there.
Ooh, Eric might be able to use it coming up.
Probably
Throw a
not. You
monkey
know
wrench
me.
in. Throw a monkey wrench in.
I probably haven't experienced it, so I'm
that's
probably
true.
ineligible,
Eric doesn't get to. Eric does.
We'll see what happens.
The Evil Queen and Snow White were out together.
Really? That's rare.
Very rare.
And
they were amazing with each other.
Boy, I might have to hit a second meet and greet at some point. I think Vicki's a meet and greet kind of gal, but I'm not doing that. I think I met like 20 characters last weekend. Holy smokes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. See,
you know what? One of the fun things about doing the show has been when we bring people from, I think we've had people all around the U.S. that have joined us as a guest judge. We're finding out things that we didn't know existed ourselves. And now it's like, we're creating our own list off to the side. Like, oh, I got to go do that.
Oh my gosh.
No, I was shocked to see them. I was waiting for Wondrous Journeys. And all of a sudden, I saw the Evil Queen out of the corner of my eye. She's always one of my favorite meets anyways. I was excited for that. I'm like, oh, I got to go say hi. And all of a sudden, I saw Snow White standing next to her, and I, fangirl and beelined over to them.
See, I see
and
that.
Just made the cutoff in the line.
I saw that in the parks last week. I saw them together, and I was like, does she know that she's the bad guy? Like, I was like, does she know
are they supposed to?
It's like,
but it was a really fun meet and greet. I'm like, have you gotten a new huntsman yet? Or you just still serving pork chops?
I love it. Oh my gosh! See, we got to stick around the parks and meet some more characters, Eric. All right.
I'm supposed to go next week. Well,
hey, there you
whenever
go.
Whenever this show actually airs, it's supposed to be next week at the time we're recording this. So we'll see. Maybe I'll find some things.
All right. So going into the second round, I am dropping the gloves. I didn't think I'd be able to keep this for the second round because I thought Eric would take it, but he did good with taking Aladdin. But I am taking what is undoubtedly my favorite fireworks show of all time. And I'm going out to the East Coast, and I'm not watching Happily Ever After. I'm not even watching Wishes. I'm watching Illuminations, Reflections of Earth over at Epcot, a show that brought me to tears multiple times. I mean, there have been rumors, granted they might have been started by me online, that they're going to bring it back one day. But, nothing that's been there since has at all measured up to what Illuminations was. It was my favorite fireworks show. And I was brokenhearted when they said they were going to take it out. My girlfriend, who's now my wife, was like, when they announced they were taking it out, she's like, well, we have to go, right? And we did. We got to go and see it a couple more times. There is I'd say there's no bad view. If you were behind a tree, the view was awful. But other than that, there was great views from around the entire lagoon back there. Illuminations, Reflections of Earth, a show that should never have ended, and hopefully comes back in some way, shape, or form, is my number 2 pick.
Okay, good pick.
Eric, what do you think of Illuminations?
It's probably my favorite show of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I had it on my list. I thought I could hold off a little bit, but you went after the juggler there earlier. You weren't kidding. I think I'm in okay shape though. Looking at my list here, I think there's a few things that you're not going to go after, so I'm okay. No, it's a good pick. I think it was needed.
Vicki, what do you think of Illuminations? Just think about all the memories of seeing that show.
All the memories of seeing that show. You're probably going to hate me.
You've never seen it.
It was a snooze fest.
Oh my gosh. Eric's winning. It's over. Wow.
I got an early lead. I'm fine with that.
I got an early lead because I'm sorry. It's honestly, it's my
Holy
husband's favorite show.
smokes.
He was heartbroken when it
A
left.
snooze fest.
A snooze fest.
Oh, oh, my little heart. All right. All right.
I like the music. I didn't like the big length of time in between the globe for the smoke to clear. And I know
Sure.
that's what it was for, but it was just empty dead space.
Sure. I'll give you that. That's not
Okay.
not okay. All right. Well, I'm just gonna cry in the
All
corner.
right,
Eric,
Christian.
Eric, go ahead.
All
Unbelievable.
right, let's move to number 2 here. I won't let that one sting for any longer. I'm gonna stay out here on the West Coast,
Okay.
and I'm moving into parade territory. So I am going to
Okay.
satisfy a rule right here.
Mm.
I'm bouncing back and forth between 2, and
Yep.
I think I'm going to go with my favorite parade of all time. And I am by no means a parade person, so I feel the judgment coming. But I'm taking Paint the Night at number 2
Ooh.
because so the first time I ever saw it, and a lot of people know that I've been a cast member for a long time, and when we get to go out there sometimes and preview things, and I remember thinking to myself, what am I doing at a preview for a parade? I really don't care about these things.
No.
And it came by, and right out of the gate I went, oh, okay.
Okay.
And then the soundtrack with the Owl City song and all that.
Yeah.
I was stunned and said, when can I see this again? And you're welcome for that.
How
joke.
dare you?
But bump.
Thank you. That is my one dad joke for the day. and probably the only parade that I've seen as a guest, because I did work in the park for a while and saw other parades over and over and over again. But like the ones that I actually enjoyed as a guest, it's the one that I voluntarily would go back and watch over and over again. Paint the Night's my second pick.
Okay.
That's
Solid choice.
That's a really good pick. Love Paint the Night. That is my favorite parade, and that makes a future selection for me in this draft a little bit more interesting. I thought you might lean a different way, but there you go.
Paint the Night. The rumor was it was supposed to come to Florida, and then they found out it won't fit over the bridge.
Yep. Bummer. Guess we get to keep it. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, because we're using it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're using it. I was really, really hoping, because Phantasmic was down, we'd get one of the nighttime parades.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm going to be in a losing streak for 15 years because Vikki doesn't like what I've been going with so far. So I got to figure this out. What have I not done yet? I'm so over the.
You got Meet and Greet down. You've got Nighttime Spectacular.
We're like, okay, what have we done? So I still need to do nighttime out in Florida or out here in California. And the minimum of one parade too. So I'm going to go with a parade that I don't personally, I don't think it's the best parade they've ever done. But last week when I was sitting in Disneyland and saw Magic Happens, the amount of love that I see for that parade, the characters, everything going on, the beautiful soundtrack, I still enjoyed it. And you know me, Eric, I'm not a parades guy. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I couldn't take it on our parades episode way back when, but I can take it now. Magic Happens going in my third round.
So that was the one I bounced back and forth with Paint the Night. The reason I took Paint the Night is for the wow factor of everything. And I don't think Magic Happens has as much of that. And maybe it's because it's a day parade.
Sure.
I think that can sometimes happen. I love the soundtrack for Magic Happens. I find myself whistling in my office all the time.
I've been singing it for 3 days. And you want to know what? It is my favorite Disney parade, East or West Coast.
We're back in the game.
In the game, Christian.
It just takes one pick sometimes.
One pick.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'll take it.
It is honestly enjoyable. It is cheerful and happy. That soundtrack is addictive.
Yeah.
Well, and you look at the parades in the past, and granted, there's plenty, right? We did a whole show on them. It was like I think our
Tons of them.
Our fourth episode was the
Mhm.
parades show. And you look at a show for a daytime show
A
at
daytime.
Disneyland. You look at Mickey Soundsational that ran for years, but it just, I don't know, there was something missing to it. Magic
Mhm.
Happens feels like not only they can make everything look amazing. They could add more characters, they could subtract characters, they can really morph that however they'd like, and I think it's going to go really well. So that's why Magic Happens is my round 3 pick, Eric, and I am back in the business. Where are you
Now,
going?
have you
hold
seen
on.
Magic Happens at night?
Yeah. Oh, I saw it like dusk. I don't know if I would qualify.
Pure darkness.
Oh,
Pure
I don't know if I
darkness.
saw it.
Yeah, I don't
if
think I've ever seen it at night.
It is incredible at night.
Yeah.
Cinderella's carriage lights up and twinkles.
Ooh.
Talk about magical.
No kidding. All right.
It's like the definition of it right there.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm booking a reservation right now.
You can't though. It won't happen. It won't happen again until fall. Time change.
Well, whenever that window opens, I'm doing it. Anyway, Eric, your third pick.
Third pick.
Oh, I think I'm going Nighttime Spectacular this time. So
Okay.
I can get this thing on my list. Do I want to go East or West Coast is the question. I'm going to stick with the West Coast.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to take my favorite fireworks spectacular of all time. Now, once upon a time, I was an attractions cast member, and I love the homage to all the attractions. I have to take Remember Dreams Come True, which celebrated the Disneyland's 50th. It was the year I was hired the first time around, and I got to watch that every night, and I never got tired of it, no matter what my fellow cast members felt about it. I was the one who was there every night, all the way till, the kiss goodnight, as they call it, would wrap up. So I'm taking Remember Dreams Come True as my third pick in this draft.
What a great show that was.
Yeah.
Vikki, did you get to see that one?
I did. That was a good one. That absolutely was a good one.
There was something magical about kind of going along in the park, and you heard the Tiki Room, and then you heard the Pirates and Haunted Mansion, and you kind of went around the park. And the Star Tours part was amazing. Granted, when that was like the only Star Wars stuff in the park at the time, but like that was awesome. Like, oh my gosh, great pick, EP.
And I was a Star Tours cast member when that show came out too. So I was always standing right in front of the attraction when that part would come on, and everybody standing around was like,
what's going on?
Yeah, looking at the attraction, looking at the sky. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a
good pick.
That's a great pick, but it's a terrible pick. Let's say terrible pick because I want to win this. I don't want to sell this too much. All right, I'm going to be able to do another one, and we're going to go West Coast, and we are going to go Nighttime Spectacular. And I realized I could wait for this for the fifth because Eric can't take another Nighttime Spectacular on the West Coast.
It's true.
But it deserves better than that. It deserves to be better on this list, and it is my favorite Nighttime Spectacular that Disney has really done. And they do it without, for the most part, without pyrotechnics. Because if you go to Disney California Adventure and watch the original World of Color show, your mind was blown. Your mind was blown with what Disney can do with fountains. My wife and I met working that show. There's some sentimental value to this, but I absolutely love World of Color. I'm going to be honest, I don't love the new version of World of Color. I miss the old version of World of Color. But World of Color in general was such a great plus for Disney California Adventure. Part of what saved that theme park. I mean, we talked about with Callan last week. Cars Land was a big reason. Avengers Campus is obviously helping it now. But you go back to what saved that park. Boy, World of Color was instrumental in getting people to stick around in that park at night. And I mean, my favorite part of World of Color is when it's just all of the colors dancing on the water, and it looks like liquid candy going up and down. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite moments in a Disney park is to see that. So that's why World of Color is going as, I believe this would be our 7th overall pick, but in my 4th round.
Fourth
pick.
round.
What do you think of World of Color, Vikki?
I love World of Color. I actually like the new version.
Okay.
I do actually like the new version. Basically, when Grogu comes out and you see his little face, like, oh.
Oh, so good.
But I'm a huge Mandalorian fan, anyways. The whole show. So when you see that and all the other Star Wars stuff, when the Falcon flies and it's so cool.
Oh, love it. And I will there are aspects of this show I like. I'm not saying I don't like the show in general. But I certainly
The original show was definitely,
oh yeah.
the OG.
And
So
that's when I say I don't like the current show. I just want everybody to know I don't hate everything about it. I promise. Stay off of me, Disney Instagram hate people. I understand you already hate me, but it's fine. Eric, what do you think of World of Color?
I like World of Color. I've always liked World of Color. I will admit I have not seen World of Color 1 just yet. Haven't had a chance to go over there, but when I do, I'm sure I'll enjoy it. I've heard nothing but good things.
it really was amazing.
Yeah, and
I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it because some of the stuff that they put out online was like, man.
Right.
But seeing it in person, it really is beautiful.
That's good to know. I'm looking forward to it. But the original one is a good pick too, Christian. I commend you for that.
Absolutely. Good pick.
All right, now it's time for my fourth pick, and I've already satisfied my West Coast nighttime spectacular, so now I got to do my East Coast one. I'm saving my meet and greet for last because I think I'll be okay in that category. We'll find out. I don't think Christian's taken 2 meet and greets, so I should be okay. For my East Coast nighttime spectacular, let me tell you something. This was it's one of my favorite shows. I don't know if it's everybody's favorite show. I hope it's up there because I don't have a ton of picks eligible left over on the East Coast, so we're going to go with this. But I got to tell you, every single time I'm sitting in that Phantasmic theater, all I can think about is, wow, I should have went and watched Wishes. So I'm taking Wishes as my pick at number 4 as one of my favorite fireworks shows out in Florida that I have seen. So that's my number 4 pick.
That might have been the greatest tee up for a pick ever. Vikki, what do you think of Wishes?
Okay, Christian, you're not going to be happy when I say this.
All right. It's your favorite fireworks show of all time, man.
Of all time.
Or fist bumps
of all time. I can hear a few notes of the music and I break into tears. Like sobbing, ugly crying tears. There are so many core memories attached to that fireworks show. It has my heart forever.
And here's where I'm really going to drive the stake into Christian.
Oh, this will be good.
It is the only fireworks show I have ever seen in Florida.
So I should have taken it.
And I have seen it one.
You've never seen Illuminations?
I'm fireworks, like like the fireworks.
Okay. You're saying okay. I got it.
Yeah, I've seen Illuminations several times.
Okay.
But as far as I should say, Magic Kingdom fireworks shows, it's the only one I've ever seen, and I saw it once, and I got a little choked up when I saw it, and I don't do that, so it made an impact.
It's a good pick. I love Wishes. Oh man, I'm gonna get emotional about Wishes. I love Wishes.
It is. It chokes me up every time, even just thinking about it.
It's a great pick. And now I'm regretting every decision I've ever made in my life. But it's fine because it's not over yet. We do have one more round. We have one more round. And I don't know if I can.
Right now, you're pretty tied up. So this last pick is what it's going to come down to.
Okay. All right. Well, then how about we jump into it? The final round. And with my final round pick, I'm going to take something where this is so unique for a meet and greet. Yes, I am going meet and greet twice.
Oh my!
As long as I fulfilled all the rules. As long as I just want to make sure. I'm so lost.
There's your East. There's your West.
Parade, meet and greet.
Yeah.
You have Thor for a meet and greet.
I have Thor. So I have done it already. But I'm going to another meet and greet because this meet and greet is something so unique for a Disney character. And it is the character that deserves it the best. And I'm going to meet Mickey Mouse, and I'm going to meet him on Main Street at the Magic Kingdom because he can talk to me. And it was the coolest thing when I walked in and Mickey is actually talking to you and says hello and everything. It was amazing when they finally had I guess it's an animatronic like face that talks to you.
Mhm.
Boy, oh boy. And then they use some of the technology, the magic band, to know what your name is, what your birthday is, so they can say happy birthday, Christian, or whatever it is. I mean, it really is a super cool meet and greet experience. And I'm ending
He's
it with the
gone now.
boss. I'm going
He's
Mickey.
gone now.
He's gone now? I didn't even know he was. Okay, well, then it's a good thing it's an all-time show, because I had no idea that Mickey
He
was
is
gone.
Gone.
Okay,
Mickey
well then,
is still there at
but
the
it's
moment,
not.
but the talking Mickey no longer exists.
Well, then I guess
he
it was a
was
limited
causing
time
too many
magic.
injuries.
Well, okay, that
Oh,
sounds
wonderful.
dangerous. But I will say, talking Mickey, it was the coolest thing, meeting Mickey on Main Street and seeing that. I had no idea they had already yanked it. Wow.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think it was super cool, especially when it didn't hurt people.
Yeah.
And that was actually my favorite time, when it didn't hurt people.
Dude, it didn't hurt people. And if you had a birthday button on, he would sing happy birthday to you.
Yep. It was cool, and it was unique. And we've seen the other characters, like on the Red Car Trolley Newsboys show here at the Disneyland Resort. They had Minnie and Mickey, and you have them moving, but to actually meet Mickey with the moving, it was something else. It's my 5th pick.
Nice choice.
Thanks,
Good
Vikki.
choice.
I hope it's better than whatever Erik meet and greets here, because I know he has to go meet and greet. Erik, did you never saw that one, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay, so I didn't.
It was very cool. It was a fun meet and greet.
I've seen videos and stuff like that. Yeah, it was interesting. It was innovative. Maybe they clean it up a little bit, and then
I was going to say,
but he's actually been gone since before COVID.
Oh my gosh! See, these are the things that I didn't even know because I don't pay attention. But geez, like I'm so curious about the injury stories. But well, that's another show. Anyway, Erik.
Google.
Oh yeah, Erik, your 5th pick, the final pick of today's draft.
It's the most bold pick I've ever made on this show.
Oh,
and in my opinion,
that's
because I don't know how many people have ever been able to experience this, and I'm going for uniqueness here.
Okay.
And I'm going for my favorite Disney character of all time.
Okay.
The meet and greet that I experienced when I was 2 years old.
Okay.
I remember, and it doesn't exist anymore. Obviously, it's long gone. And I'm hoping with the cult following this particular character has gained over the last few years, that we may see it. And I know that it was rumored he was coming back, and I don't know, Vikki, maybe you can let me know once I make the pick if it is back, but I haven't seen lately. But my favorite character and his handler, I guess, if you will, but the Dreamfinder and Figment. I mean, they didn't have their own location. They were just walking around the pavilion, and I remember it vividly in my head, just walking up. Well, I wasn't really walking a whole lot at that time because we were wiped out. Rolling along and coming up and seeing Figment and the Dreamfinder and taking all the pictures. And I still have my original Figment plush that I got in 1989 that's missing an eye because of all the years of wear and tear. If that comes back, and I don't know that it has yet. I thought I had heard that he might.
It is coming back. We don't know in what capacity.
Right.
We don't know if it's with Dreamfinder, if it's just Figment, if it's the big Figment. We don't know.
Either way, I'm happy with whatever they decide to bring back. And I really wish I could have got Figment put on my name tag, but wasn't one of the options. But yeah, but
that was mean.
Because he belongs in Florida, you can't bring him here.
Yeah, there's stuff like that there's that continuity stuff we have. I don't know the exact reason, but he's my favorite character of all time, hands down. Always has been, not just because he's become popular lately. I missed the original version of the attraction, the one that's there now. I know a lot of people like to hate on it. It's fine. It's not wonderful, but it's fine.
It's fine.
Dreamfinder.
I actually like the attraction as it stands. Yeah. I think it's fun. Everybody picks on me. I like the smell of the skunk. Do you know what? Little behind the scenes magic. Gonna ruin some magic for people. It's not really skunk.
What?
It's burnt coffee.
Yes, I will say that I did know that. about
burnt
that
coffee.
one. Yes. Yep.
And that's all I smell now. It makes me happy every time. Big huff of it. It's like, oh.
I may be wrong.
I'm home.
I may be wrong, but I believe we had the exact same scent in the Bugs Life Theater here in California when the stink bug went off.
Oh,
it
it
was the
is. You're
exact
right, because the same.
scent.
It is the same scent because we have it here.
So I have,
Oh.
as someone who had to sit and watch that show multiple times, I have more of that in my system than I probably should. So anyway, that's not important. What is important is that we are at the end of our draft. Vikki, just in general, before we go into the specifics, touch a little bit more on, have you ever seen a Figment meet and greet before?
I have.
Shoot. Okay, well, I was banking on that, so we'll see how that ends up in our
Figment. I remember the original Dreamfinder and Figment wandering around the park. I'm gonna share my age a little bit, but I was in the park when it opened, opening year. I have a ticket from it. Opening year.
Cool. Epcot's my place. That's my home away from home. I was not getting out of this draft without selecting something from there, so that was going to happen.
And do you want to know what something absolutely funny? If I have to rank the parks 1 to 4, it ranks number 4 for me.
Yes,
that's right.
But unfortunately, the problem with that is it's home to my favorite ride of all times in both coasts,
which is
Cosmic Rewind.
Cosmic Rewind. Yeah, I think that seems to be the consensus nowadays.
We want to go on it so bad.
It blows Tron out of the water. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
we haven't been on either, so
blows Tron out of the water.
We'll have to judge that for ourselves, but that's kind of the consensus. Is that if you're going on a coaster in Florida right now, it's not Tron. Which is a bummer because of the amount of money they spent on the
spent on it
for that attraction. Okay, well, we have reached the end of our draft. So Eric, you always run down the list. So run down the list for the people at home and tell us what our draft picks were.
All right, we're going to start with me as I usually do. Here's my picks 1 through 5. I took Aladdin, Musical Spectacular, Disney California Adventure. Paint the Night, also from DCA. Remember Dreams Come True from Disneyland. Wishes from Magic Kingdom, and the Dreamfinder and Figment as my character meet and greet at Epcot. For Christian, his first pick was Thor in the Innovations building at Disneyland. Illuminations from Epcot. Magic Happens, the parade at Disneyland. World of Color, Disney California Adventure. And Mickey Mouse on Main Street in Magic Kingdom. And those are our picks. And for judgment, Vikki, we'd love to ask you, who wins this episode of Drafting the Magic?
Oh, it is really close.
Good, finally.
Really close.
It hasn't been recently, so
it hasn't been recently.
At least close.
But coming up in the end with Wishes and Figment, I'm sorry to say, Christian, Eric's got it.
It's fine. I've just found myself.
Goodness. That's half a dozen in a row, my friend. Half a dozen in a row.
Goodness. I can believe it, but I can't believe it. But you came out strong with Aladdin, so I'll give you that.
Yeah, he did come out strong with Aladdin. Magic Happens. You had me at Magic Happens and World of Color. But
Christian, it's a matter at this point of me just getting lucky. Let's be real.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean,
Vikki, I don't know, Vikki. I don't know what her likes and dislikes are. It's just about getting lucky.
Neither do I.
It really is.
Neither do I. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken Illuminations because the word snooze fest is like
snooze fest. I'm
going to
sorry.
be plastered on my wall now, and it's awful. And I'm going to cry.
And I think that's the great part about what we're doing with the show is you just don't know what's going to happen. And with the Disney community at large, not everybody loves every show. Not everybody hates every show or attraction or whatever.
I cried. I watched the very last Disney Enchantment in tears. I was so upset when they got rid of that.
Yeah.
I was heartbroken. And everybody's like, how can you like this? I'm like, it gives me all the feels. I don't know why. I don't know what it does. It just hit differently for me.
That's the big thing. Everything means something different to everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's people who don't like pirates. I love pirates, right? It doesn't matter. It's up to interpretation. And there's so many things you can do in all the parks. If you don't want to go, you don't got to go do something else,
Yeah,
right? And then
exactly.
everybody has their opinions, and we all have fun. And I think that's one of the things that brings us back into the parks every single time is
Yep.
you're always interested to hear what other people think about it.
I'm going to be
Most
sick.
definitely.
I'm going to be sick. I am not doing well.
Oh,
But check in on me in a week, folks, and see if we're still doing this show. 6 losses in a row. EP is on fire with 6 wins in a row. And we got to say a big thank you to Vikki Tupay. Vikki, here's your soapbox moment. Tell the people at home where they can find you, how they can book a trip through you, and anything else you got going on.
Best way to find me is Instagram. I'm always there. As you know, I respond really quick. Dream Big Vikki, Vikki, because I have to be different. I have to be difficult. But always there. That's probably the best way to find me.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. You were a fantastic guest host or guest judge, even though I lost again. But it really doesn't matter who the judge
and I
is.
stuck a stake in the heart with the snooze fest. I'm sorry.
Snooze. I don't. That's gonna go up on our wall of fame of comments.
It's the first time somebody said that about one of my favorite things, and I'm not even upset about it.
I am. In
it
shock.
helped me in the long run.
I wish I didn't take it. I'm proud of my list. It is what it is. But Vikki, thank you so much. Thanks,
guys.
We hope you join us again sometime and keep kicking it on Instagram. All right.
Absolutely.
Oh, Vikki was great. I mean, great. For you, regardless of the outcome, great having her on. Love the insight, and always fun when we have somebody from the other coast who goes there regularly to knock us down a few notches.
No, I not only did I love Vikki as a guest, I love, like you said, getting that different Disney perspective. And in my opinion, everyone loves Illuminations, and apparently that's not a real thing. And that might have been what cost me in this episode. 6 in a row. I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore. I genuinely I saw this and I was like, I get to go first. That gives me a leg up. Boom, she hadn't seen it. Boom, she didn't like my next pick. And I'm just like, all right, cool. So it doesn't matter when I go, whether I'm first or last. It's just awful. And so here we are. But
I will say, if I may have an honest critique of your last 2 drafts that I have noticed, coming out of the gate is what's hurting you.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm starting slow when I should be going.
Right, you're going
big
a
bulldozer.
A little bit too unique to start. You got to hit them with the big ones first. And kind of mindset that, all right, there's some flow. I think both of us regularly kind of drop off a little bit in the middle, and then it's both of us trying to end. Right, both of us trying to hold on to our, drive it in at the end of the game. Can we get that game-winning touchdown? So I mean, it worked out for me today. And last week I think it was more in the beginning of the draft, more than anything.
Speaking of touchdowns, that's what I need to tie this up and maybe even find a extra point. Since this is a sports-based show, we might as well throw a little bit of sports terminology in it. But I mean, Eric, let's be honest. If we're doing a 20-episode season, you're 4 away from clinching at best a tie or at worst a tie. Like what in the world? This is nuts, but I love it. So
it is fun no matter what, even if you come out on the short end of the stick, because I think we like to show our personalities a little bit too with our the choices of what we make and how we like to experience the parks. And I think we've said it before, if one person out there hasn't seen or experienced something that we've mentioned, and I know we did a lot of all-time things today and things that don't exist anymore, but for the ones that do still exist and maybe somebody hadn't heard of it, I know you mentioned Thor and it's not around anymore, but I mean, there's examples like that where people are like, I've never heard of that. I'm going to go check it out. If we influence just one person, Christian, we've done our job.
We've done our job. And now I am going to come even harder at the next topic. I don't even know what our next topic is. We haven't really planned it out yet, but I've got to win. I have to. If I lose 7 in a row, I don't know what I'm going to do myself. So until then, that's what I'll be thinking about every moment of the day.
Good luck to you, my friend.